Once upon a time, in a city most fair, a day was beginning with the usual cheer. The city was Auckland, and was known far and wide for the visual splendour it carried with pride. The people were happy. They weren't prone to fuss, except maybe when they were late for the bus. The townsfolk went on without a care, it was deemed, but everything was not really quite as it seemed. Trouble was brewing, trouble most foul, a dreadfulness that might cause you to howl. Apathy was rife and ignorance too. The townsfolk were hopeless, they had not a clue. Fortune, however, was beginning to perk, for out in the flora, kind creatures did lurk. Happy they were in their green little home, until into their path a little trouble was blown. A decision was made, right there on the spot. An end was required to this trash, waste and rot. "My friends," said the fairy, Gumby was his name, "this awful affair we really must tame." The source of the problem was quickly perceived. A college, the sender of rubbish received. With expressions of zeal and pride in each chest, the good-natured fairies set out on their quest. Upon reaching the source of the grave situation, the fairies found new wells of determination. They huddled up close and discussions began, and surely enough, they soon had a plan. Inspection was needed, an audit of sorts, sifting through rubbish, spread out on the courts. Recording what students had thrown in the bin showed sustainable thinking was spread rather thin. A solution was clear from these trash-laden spectacles. The students required much better receptacles. Construction began as they laid the foundations, and working their hardest, they built new waste stations. 3 different compartments the stations appointed, recycling old food scraps and landfill conjointed. The fairies could see that their work was not finished. Without proper signage, the purpose diminished. So quickly they fashioned some helpful displays to show all the students how the bins were arrayed. Now Gumby was happy with what they'd achieved, yet the job was not over from what he perceived. The problem was bigger than one little college, and Gumby felt others were in need of this knowledge. "Dear fairies," said Gumby, "let this saga be told, lest the schoolyard return to its problems of old." So the fairies set out and recorded their tale, keeping it lively so it wouldn't get stale. The fairies were pleased, their work appeared done, and along the way it had been lots of fun. The story, it seems, must come to a close. However, there are still some questions to pose. Was the time and the effort the fairies went through enough to sustain a school, clean, just like new? Oh dear, what is this? Could it be what they built? This monstrous construction with its unnerving tilt? What have we here? Was someone sick? Are these the signs that you would pick? What are we seeing? What was that bit? The cinematography looks like rubbish. This will not do. It's just not right. This kind of thing won't stem the blight. Gumby and his friends, though quite well-meaning, dropped the ball when they were cleaning. But what they started and set out to achieve is really not that hard to conceive. A clear goal is needed, one without too much strife, to work towards environmentally sustainable practices in all areas of school life. A fairy crew is not enough, despite the task not being that tough. So what on earth is the school to do? That's right, you got it. It's up to you.